stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. Just letting some people know. Because I did one at the noon hour and they couldn't catch it. And I'm doing some working on an email to send out to the team. And a lot of information. Even though we're keeping it simple. I decided that a few days ago. I'm like, I have all this stuff going on and it's great. Gotta keep it simple. Or it just isn't gonna work. Just wouldn't work. So while we're waiting, this is for my rewatchers. There's gonna be sometimes you're gonna run into people and they're just not gonna want you to be happy. They don't really think that you deserve a life of happiness and joy and peace because of who you are. Or, I find that the people that are like that, happiness tends to elude them. I feel bad for a lot of people out there that are quote unquote normies. Even that's calling somebody a name, I kind of feel. In fact, I had somebody once say, in a meeting, I was doing this, right? And they said, I don't appreciate being called a normie. And I get that. So maybe we need to think of a different way to maybe present that. But what I wanted to let you know is you deserve to be happy. Everybody deserves to be happy. Sure, maybe you've done some things in your life that you don't feel as good, but you deserve happiness. Every single one of us does. Hi, Patricia. Good to see you. What I was discussing a little bit was that there's going to be people in your life, including family members, maybe, that just don't think you deserve to be happy. And this is coming up because, I had a lot of people over for Mother's Day, and usually you'll get things like, hey, place looks nice, good yard, you're looking good, how are you doing? None of that. Nobody even asked me, what are you doing nowadays? No one. Because when it comes down to it, they don't want me to be happy. Let's get to tradition 10. All right. Did I say hi? I believe I did. If not, hi, Patricia. All right. Today I am reading Tradition 10. Tradition 10 is Alcoholics Anonymous. Has no opinion on outside issues. Hence, the AA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. Kind of seems like it's pretty straightforward, huh? Right? We have no opinion on outside issues. I'm doing pretty good today. Thank you. Getting a lot of little things done. I'm feeling accomplished, which is good in the life of an alcoholic. It's good. We need accomplishments, even if they're little ones. All right. So, never since it began has Alcoholics Anonymous been divided by a major controversial issue. Nope. See, we don't divide. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. You can have your opinion on outside issues, but they belong outside the rooms. In the rooms, we talk about recovery, we talk about the solution so that you can go out there and deal with those daily clamors. Nor has our fellowship ever publicly taken sides on any question in an embattled world. This, however, has been no earned virtue. It could almost be said that we were born with it, for as one old timer recently declared, practically never have I heard a heated religious, political, or reform argument among AA members. So long as we don't argue these matters privately, it's a cinch we shall never publicly. Keep it out of the rooms. I don't care if it's the meeting before the meeting. If you're all sitting around talking politics, it's not right. Do not discuss those stuff in the AA clubs. Do not discuss it in the church. Do not discuss it at AA events. It has no place. It doesn't belong. Okay? If a newcomer comes in and people are arguing about trans people, they're gonna leave. Yeah. Instead, hey, how you doing? How's the job going? Yeah, been working that fifth step. Fantastic. Hey, I heard you got 90 days. That's good stuff. How'd you do that? Have those conversations. Okay. AA hadn't been around a long while. There's times I go into an AA meeting, there's people doing war stories. No, no. Uh, as somebody, as by some deep instinct, we AAs have known from the very beginning that we must never, no matter what the provocation, publicly take sides in any fight, even a worthy one. All history affords us the spectacle of a striving nation and groups finally torn asunder because they were designed for or tempted into controversy. Okay. And this isn't just with AA, this is going to be your life. I really don't. Do I have my opinions? Yeah, but I mostly keep them to myself. Because I'm going to tell you something. Nobody really cares, man. Who cares? So I'm not even going to bother going there. Okay. The other thing is, I'm not allowed to create division. That hurts God's children when I do that. And I'm not allowed to hurt God's children. Isn't that one of our rules? Don't hurt God's children. Pretty simple. Others fell apart because of sheer righteousness while trying to enforce upon the rest of mankind some millennium of their own specification. In our own times, we have seen millions die in political and economic wars, often spurred by religious and racial differences. Coronavirus. See how easy it is. Hey, I shouldn't have done that even. Ooh, see how easy? All right, won't happen again. We live in the imminent possibility of a fresh Holocaust to determine how men shall be governed and how the products of nature and toil shall be divided among them. That is the spiritual climate in which AA was born and by God's grace has nevertheless flourished. Okay? So part of the key to working this program is utilizing the traditions in your everyday life. Trudging Together is based off the traditions, except for the seventh one, because I don't ask for donations. It doesn't fit in this scheme, but I can still base it off the traditions, well, lightly, right? By doing the same thing. Trudging Together also really has no opinion on outside issues. We really don't. You don't see certain things on there. Anyway, all right. Let us re-emphasize that this reluctance to fight one another or anybody else is not counted as some special virtue which makes us feel superior to other people. That is correct. We're not better than. Not even close. Nor does it mean that the members of Alcoholics Anonymous, now restored as citizens of the world, are going to back away from their individual responsibility to act as they see the right upon issues of our time. But when it comes to AA as a whole, that's quite a different matter. In this respect, we do not enter into public controversy because we know that our society will perish if it does. We conceive the survival and spread of Alcoholics Anonymous be something of far greater importance than the weight we could collectively throw back of any other cause. Since recovery from alcoholism is life itself to us, it is imperative that we preserve in full strength our means of survival. Maybe this sounds as though the alcoholic in AA had suddenly gone peaceable and become one great big happy family. Of course, this isn't so at all. Human beings that we are, we squabble. Before we leveled off a bit, AA looked more like a prodigious squabble than anything else, at least on the surface. Yeah. There we are. Thank you. I like that, Patricia. When I need to fight instead of accept things, I'm going against God's will. That's right. As soon as I feel the need to fight. And it's a balance. Right? Here's the thing. You can't really fight anything. Stigma. Can't find it. You can't fight that. Good luck. Just turn into a fight. You cannot wage war on drugs. Drugs aren't doing anything. Why don't you wage war on the people doing it? How about that? There you go. War on drugs. Drugs aren't doing anything. They're an inanimate object. So, a corporation director who had just voted a company's expenditure of $100,000 would appear at an AA business meeting and blow his top over an outlay of $25 worth of needed postage stamps. Disliking the attempt of some to manage a group, half his membership might angrily rush off to form another group to their liking. Elders temporarily turned into Pharisees have sulked. Bitter attacks have been directed against people suspected of mixed motives. Despite their din, our puny rogues never did AA a particle of harm. They were just part and parcel of learning to work and live together. Let it be noted, too, that they were almost always concerned with ways to make AA more effective, how to do the most good for the most alcoholics. AA spur off all the time. Happens all the time. Okay. We need more meetings. So what? But did you try and solve the problem first? Or did you just get angry and went for the easier, softer way? Did you approach the group conscience? Did you have a hard conversation about it first? Did you do these things first? If not, then you best check your intention on starting a new meeting. You might as well just call it the fuck off meeting, because that's why you're starting it, and it's going to fail. Because that means your meeting is based off how that meeting is doing what they're doing. And you're always going to compare yourself. Oh, we have more members. We did it. None of that matters. Okay? So that comes back to intention. What's your intention there? Well, I want to show them how it's done. Good luck. The Washingtonian Society, a movement among alcoholics which started in Baltimore a century ago, almost discovered the answer to alcoholism. At first, the society was composed entirely of alcoholics trying to help one another. The early members foresaw that they should dedicate themselves to this sole aim. In many respects, the Washingtonians were akin to the AA of today. Their membership passed the 100,000 mark. You guys didn't know about the Washingtonians, did ya? Yeah. They didn't last. You're about to find out why. Had they been left to themselves and had they stuck to their one goal, they might have found the rest of the answer. But this didn't happen. Instead, the Washingtonians permitted politicians and reformers, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic, to use the society for their own purposes. Abolition of slavery, for example, was the soaring political issue then. Soon, Washingtonian speakers violently and publicly took sides on the question. Maybe the society could have survived the abolition controversy, but it didn't have a chance from the moment it determined to reform America's drinking habits. When the Washingtonians became temperance crusaders, within a very few years, they had completely lost their effectiveness in helping alcoholics. You hear me talk about this, it still happens. People go out there and I call it reinventing the wheel. They'll be around for a little bit, but eventually they'll go away. I've watched hundreds of them. In 20 years that I've been around, hundreds of them do it. Okay. Getting a little bit smarter about it. It certainly helps them that the government is currently giving money for stupidity. So, the lesson to be learned. That wasn't passive aggressive at all, was it? I could be extremely, let's not. So what? The lesson to be learned from the Washingtonians was not overlooked by Alcoholics Anonymous. As we surveyed the wreck of that movement, early AA members resolved to keep the society out of public controversy. Thus, they laid the cornerstone for Tradition 10. Alcoholics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues, hence the AA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. I'm going to give you a big one on it. That's actually in recovery. Harm reduction. Harm reduction. There's a big division on contra. Yeah. I'm not giving my opinion on it here. Sorry. Not for this one. I'm just bringing up an example. Now, what if we brought safe consumption sites into AA? It'd kill us. Because people have different opinions. And AA, as such, cannot do that. It can't. It's a non-entity. Nobody speaks for AA as a whole. So therefore, we had no say-so. Okay. Now, what about an individual level? Okay. I'm getting ready to work on prevention. Okay. But there again, am I going to go out there and fight? No. Educate. I'm going to use my experience, which is fact, and I'm going to let these people know prevention saved my life. Did I still have a hard life? Yes. Could have been a lot worse. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Could have been a lot worse. And it wasn't worse because my mom took the time to piss me off. I was mad at her for years. Okay. But she saved my life. Because I knew that if I got into the harder drugs, I was done. I was done. And that scared me. It scared me. And I stayed away from the hard drugs. I was like, no, I'm an alcoholic, man. Fuck that. Saved me. All right. Thank you, Patricia, for being here. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. I got friends everywhere. Thank you. I love you all. Peace out and have a day.